ab'omukiika kono nozo gita mu mambuka neba bwera babukiika kono bonna basinkanye era olukiiko olwo tugenda kuba nga tulaba tulabe binna nga bwe bibadde Masaka City motulabye rallies zigenda maaso bannaffe aba NUP bakubira ale wali ku mayembe garage bagiyita Bengazi bakubye olaale yaabwe balaga abakadesi baabwe ne meeya bwabwe n'abalala bonna meere Justin lwalo yasinkana abantu omukoomu nejja kubalaale Kakonyo waziti Kakonyo yali ebulako n'okumenya emiti n'ebirala byonna kano akaseera kano ka byabufuzi kale nno bingi nnyo bitubeera kubanga tutunuulira nati mu kaseera kano okulonda tujja kubonangira z'omwezi 15 kiteza tusigaze ennaku 6 okuva olwaleero ennaku ziri 6 ezisigaddeyo ate tugende butereevu baakalulu ennaku z'omwezi 27 netujja okukuba akalulu akasobola okubeera nze kentwala nti no beba local leaders kubanga bentwala nti babwetuukirira bapresidents ne ba MPs tubalonda naye bano ba local leaders bebabeera wano ku ground betugamba nti oluguudo luno luganye oba kano kaganye bakoze kati abo matwala nga bakulu nnyo tubalonda nga nakuza omwezi 27 omwezi era guno gwetulimu kale kyekaseera nno kakutumya byabufuzi mu mbeera ezisinga okubeera ennyingi bannaffe babamutebya nti Sons Electronics bali wano opposite ne Banachik abo bannaffe abo babeera n'ebyamasanyalaze byonna sola n'atali byonna babeera nabyo bali wano ku opposite ne Banachik oba opposite ne Bank of Africa osobola okubasanga bannaffe abamutebya nti Sons Electronics ojja okusanga ufa TVs buli kimu kyonna kikolagana amasanyalaze ojja kubasanga awo bajja kukuyamba n'abatwala akamu n'abatwala ebingi mwenna mwanirizibwa kale bwetuvaayo bannaffe wagumbizina tutowa oba street kwe babeera bintu byonna bya mu nnyumba ate nga Stephen Motem abo tugenda okubeera ne tuwummula n'owummuza ku birowoozo noddako omaga nti kati kampumulire wano Stephen Motem abo nno gyosobola okugenda n'owummula munyendo wali okirya ku Mbala Road okidde ku Toto awo okusanga nga Stephen Motem tukomyewo jatunuulireko luli nina lale gye nali njagala okubawa naye ndowooza njagirwawo olunaku olw'enkya tuli lale zonna nga bwe ziba zitambudde njagala tufuneko ku meeting ya President Museveni gy'abadde nayo oba gyakubye eriira wasinganidde abantu bonna ab'omu North abakulembeze ab'omu bukiikakkono bw'eggwanga lino abakulembeze abo tulabe kulaleyo ku meeting siraali netwogera ku meeting nga bwebadde wadde nga ne laale tugirina ne meeting nga bwebadde era tulowooza nti bikyagenda mu maaso katubafune katumale okumufuna
In Luo, it requires mathematics. I wish to state that northern Uganda under NRM comprises of 3 sub-regions: West Nile, Acholi, and Lango. And in total, the 3 sub-regions have a voting population of 3.4 million registered voters. 3.4 million. Broken down as follows: West Nile, 1.3 million registered voters plus. Acholi sub-region, 800,000 voters registered plus. Lango sub-region, 1.2 million registered voters plus. In the mathematics I'm talking about, Your Excellency, the party has been conducting what we have never done in the history of the NRM. The party has been conducting the Paris conferences where 63 leaders from each and every village in Uganda have been attending. Your Excellency, if we are using the factor tree approach, where we are talking about fish for more men and bring them, especially on the voting day, the NRM cannot lose the 2026 general elections. We cannot lose from even LC1 up to our president. Your Excellency, if the leaders of NRM, myself inclusive, were honest, were dependable, were reliable, this would be the results using the chora that you have always talked about. If on the 15th of January 2026, the voting day, all the leaders, the 63 at each and every village of Uganda that we are meeting, only make a choice of going along with each of them, three voters, Obua, his wife, her name is among the right honorable speakers reminding me, Obua, his wife, the firstborn, and maybe a brother. Those are three people I have added to myself as a member of NRM. When we do it mathematically, there are 72,000 villages in Uganda. 72,000 times the 63 people we are meeting who are leaders of NRM and the councils, times three people that each should carry to the polling station. This is the mathematics, Your Excellency. We will have a voting population to start with 13.6 million voters. That is the minimum. 13.6 million voters would cast their votes in favor of NRM on the 15th, on the 22nd, and on the 4th of February. When we look at these other sub-regions, actually you have 4,315 villages. We are meeting 63 per village. We are requesting you to carry only 3. Those are 815,000 votes, 535. And the total number of registered voters in Acholi is 843,160 voters. You can see that is like 80-90% of the total number of registered voters in the entire Acholi. His Excellency has just come from West Nile. I wish to convey the apology of the Secretary General. He may not make it in time to catch up with this meeting. West Nile sub-region has 6,307 villages. 6,307 times 63 people we are meeting, and we ask each on the voting day to only carry 3 more people. That is 1 million votes, 192,023. Can the NRM really score below 50% with all these statistics? Can we score below 50%? Our score should be 80% plus, because this is now the chura we are talking about. And we are asking you, we have agreed as a region that we shall compete. Our mode of competition is what we call the factor tree. Don't walk to the polling station alone. Walk with 3 other people as a leader of NRM. This is the multiplier effect. Your Excellency, with this strategy, there is absolutely no doubt that the NRM must be declared with overwhelming percentage on the 15th. I have no doubt. Let's walk the talk. Let's practice what we preach. Let us go by this proven chora or mathematics. Your Excellency, today I just decided to be your good student to talk about chora and nothing else. And with these words, let me now invite the second National Vice Chairperson, female, to deliver a message and invite you. Victory is on the way, on the side of the NRM. And I have hope that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will deliver a landslide and triumphant victory in the 2026 election for General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and all the other NRM candidates. God bless Acholi sub-region. God bless Adjumani district. God bless Northern Uganda. God bless Uganda. God bless you all. Poyeba, Wunkao Dog Pasho, Factor 3 is the order of the day. God bless you.
NRM oye. Your Excellency, we want to welcome you to Acholi sub-region. Can you translate?
Ladit Lobo wamiti wajoli i Acholi.
And to Ajuman.
Kachil ki Ajumani.
Where is the translator of Ajuman? We are going to be very brief.
He's there.
Your Excellency, as the Honorable Bu has already said, we have Acholi sub-region here and the people of Ajuman, because Ajuman is nearer to Gulu.
Ladit Kidma Ladir Bua wajukwere watie kanki Acholi kachil ki Ajumani piana Jumani chok bad wakan.
Ba Ajumani re and Rudia Ajugo President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in Redia Ga Isai.
Your Excellency, we have spoken before you came, and we are going to give you time to speak to your people.
Terere adro parliamentary speaker ni ojo tadi atira Ajugo President Museveni otetare kurusai.
Ladit wandong logo pimeno mierwami chawa bori melokilwaki.
We want to thank you for valuing the leaders, the local leaders. It is the first time that you're meeting the local leaders.
Ale amanto Ajugo President Museveni oposi ana ba la série Vuru de Sandreko Porere Ungwekana and Ruani Kondrea Itrosi.
Just like you are the president of Uganda, these leaders are the presidents of their villages.
Kid Machalo initie Ladit Maloy Lobo Uganda, Lutela Enigine Benegiloyo, Kabir Mapat Magi Aye.
Ba Ungwele Ndrude Ajugo a Iri Karega Siribati e.
And the people of northern Uganda, you see here, know the gains that they are protecting, the peace and security that you have brought, and the development that you brought to
Dong luak me kumalome Uganda magugore kanyi, gingeo jeme mabejo dok mapol ma inikelo pigi.
Banya ndele Ndrude riuni ta Ajugo President Museveni dele Uganda ni chui kinyaditi di ariote ongo a ibaba Your
Excellency, the people that are here, the LOC1 system, the local government, LOC1, we want to thank you for approving to increase their pay from 10,000 to 100,000.
Ladit wamiti wapui pilotela megamente metedero magugore LC1 kimatieni wamiti wapui piye nige met chiente magichulu gikwere.
Anto posi entro Ajugo President Museveni ubatatira anyelisi alodi asiti ninzarura onga elifu mudriga siotuda elifu mialo.
I also told the leaders of NRM from the local level to the top level that you as the chairman of the party is planning to see how we can support our leaders to be able to work for the party.
Dong enben wajuni iti robot lutela papati NRM matie kany ni chakete dero ni o malo ni initi kaneno kit mayro mutielo kwede kikeroge wet noguti mabe pipati.
Ajugo President Museveni ubatatira anyi Ajugo Vuru village yase Paris yase sub-county yase dintejo asiro anyevo anyebu idetwe ngoni ya
And I also informed them that out of the PDM, you have increased 15 million shillings per parish to cater for the leaders like them, for them to be able to monitor the government programs.
Dong
And Your Excellency, I want to request you, when Parliament starts, let's make an amendment in the law to make these people ex-officials in the council for them to know what is happening with the government programs.
Dong bere en mero po tutwal ni malupe ki program me PDM initiru ye ni umero ge ket chene maromo million para beach mabikonyo lutela matie itedero pinen ni guberu chok do gungiyo yup pagamente. Dong bere en mero lekuni kache parliament uchagotich ingeye umere ye wekatwe gikati ki yo mano wego lutela papati eni gien bene giberu git beri kachoke me local government te dero machalo jo mano giberu kikero menyang kid mayo pagamente tie kwede
entru kameti ubatatira ya zone rezo aru city ungwele Paris development model 3D ezarura kanye eliside kwao na milioni mudiri mbito uinza city na idira voa speaker parliament idiri sojo ania president Nicolea tiki kea kobarura asidru anyi pati ni di village ya sede sake akori council ni meeting gasiwa.
Your Excellency, the team you see here say they are willing to do everything. The only challenge that they have is transport.
Ladit Lutela maineno gogore eni Lutela papati NRM gitia terra metimu teach duju kid ma ini miro kwede ento gin natika ngayo gi ene kid me wire nyume wot me chero kama miro gutiye.
The LOC ones are happy that you gave them bicycles so many years back and they are no longer in existence. Now they are requesting for new ones.
Wegi komi LC achel magitieni igiyom pilela nyugari ma ini bimini gi ente miyo chon dong bere pere go balero weng.
The LOC series are also requesting.
Ba entudiaria yebudi telera lowa iriria tipa irire elisia loti patia pati voa ba elisi natisa ya tipa ne olerura.
The LOC series are requesting for motorcycles.
Wegi komi Mayor Dep, the sub-county state division gitika leko ne umire kongi kipigi.
Elisi natiole piki yao.
Your Excellency, these people have agreed that when they live here today, they are going to go back to their villages, get all people in their villages, and talk to them, tell them the gains, and give them a uniform message, which I know you're going to give them now. We need uniformity of the message.
Jo man magugore duju gutiku ye ni kage dok ikin pachi gebe wot ikaberu duju menene kitiru bodluak be papati NRM dok gimiyo ngech matie maungit marom wege patu bed mabe.
And by introducing iki Zoeriki olobo ajugo President 7 Dira ikongwe baruse ikaba iriritra ikolobo ajugo ridike inira asiru ijadi ikolobe NRM ni ajugo President 7 ni NRM ni pendera kokari ni yote rusitro.
And for them they are all ready to go and tell all their people in their villages to go and vote. They will not only tell their wives and their children, they will tell everybody. Who are those who are saying we are going to tell everybody to go and vote? Put up your hands and the president sees.
Dong do en duju matika ilo chingini.
Ejira make.
Jo matika ilo chingini tika wajone gengi bidore kingang merweyo dano duju pelo tiano gi kimegi origi in your families gi ken ento dano duju we guchet bol kui pati NRM.
Badi area iendruko durate ya iovwa iba familia iriretira uko kikakiba irikarega village ya Paris ya sub-county ya Ritro yote tajwa ini jijo ijabejo NRM nira.
Your Excellency, we know you have come for blessing from Gulu to get 90%.
Ladit wangeyoni ini bino kano gum ki Gulu meneni ino kama nok percent piara bungwe.
And you know what Gulu means?
Ini ngeyo mabe tian lok ni Gulu ni.
Azugo ya endro gulura kika ija esu diritalo percentage sera.
And the people of Gulu have given you the blessing.
Dong luak me gulo ti gumini gumi enoni gumini la.
And Turu Guluri Okwe to 2 Azugo President 7.
With the humility, Your Excellency, allow me to invite you to come and talk to your visitors.
Wadon chingwa kawajolo la date.
NRM oye! President Museveni oye!
Kopangol wakme achori Ebinyara I think it will be vice chairperson NRM female.
La loko wonkom papate NRM amego.
Gaga NRM Mudri Yawo Okonziri Sere
Vice chairperson Northern Uganda NRM.
La loko wonkom pikumalme Uganda.
Gaga NRM Mudri Ewa Mario Ru Uganda Rigar
All the other leaders.
Lutela Duju Matie Kany.
Anya Zugo Yoterose.
I will come here to repeat what was done in the parish conferences.
Wabino Kany menuoyo botu lok magberu katetune kar magberu kawot ite parish achel.
Amevo entrude aterire meeting itele parish ya siriendru evo angwa abani au.
Before they went, I wrote a booklet which is here.
Mapeya ge chako wot mechiero kamiyo pony I parish achel ene choyo book matie borekenyo.
Meeting de otarire koro President Osi Bugura anitedele nai.
And all of you should get a copy when they are here, or they send it if they don't have it.
Dong won duju miero kachipeti ki buki enoni miero neni ino kopi ne achel.
Zonye su Bugure koro endrunyede akole angisa nye su Bugure tro.
In the booklet, I point out the 7 contributions NRM has made in the last to Uganda in the last 40 years.
Ibuki enoni enetiro kamaleng jami abero mapigitego mapati NRM utimo pilobo Uganda.
Bugure anyesua tangbingbi tu deri NRM ori community data itele twe Uganda ari.
In the booklet, I use the word brick.
Ibuki enoni enetiyo ki lep meneno ni etiyo ki lep ni lanya.
Bugure anyesua ojolejo ekwide oviro abuti bikariani.
In the Bantu dialect, there's also a word called Muganda. In the Bantu dialect.
Ilep pajo matiloga ilep paluloki giluo buki eone tie nying magiluo kwere kita eno wajoni.
Muganda is
a band of
Muganda is a bunch of poles to build a house.
Nying ma eno wajo eno ni tien loke ni gonye ni kwore mano gitiu kwere me yupodi.
Lejo ekwinai tapatrale karia lugari bati.
That's why you hear Buganda. Buganda is from that idea of a bunch of things.
Eno ni gonye ni jami mano gibamo kachil.
Bantu tisi ungwele Muganda na ekwina tapatrale ti karia lugari.
Uganda is because some clans formed a bunch. That's how it became, that's what Uganda means.
Bien gonye ki kuno ke mukene magubiano gujonge kachel gurepe enyingo aki.
Na viru suru bing biribatia tere muka karia lugari aniri.
So, but in the modern language, the grandchildren will not understand Muganda, so I was using tafari bricks.
Dong pitien loke kare lutino matino pegeniang lep matut uwego gigonyo machiek ni mero bero chalo matafale magitor kachiel.
Na ile jo ekwi okorukendre mutufali dire aniri.
So I was saying, how many matafari has NRM put on the Uganda House for the last 40 years?
Dong ka ene penyo matafale adi party NRM ochano megeto ot machalo Uganda ni pimoke maokaro.
Ekwi na NRM ba mutufali dia isi Uganda idrai.
That's why I said I have detected 7 of them.
Engino weo ene wajoni itero pejemi abero mapigiteguni.
Lady Majojaru or itu deri.
They are all here, but today I will talk about only 5 because of time.
Jamini enotie ibuk ma enotero ne entotin ibi logo jami marama big keken.
Bugu ribatia singitu deri esura kiendro mata yoto uridi.
The first one is Kuch, peace.
Me achiel ene lok me kuch.
Atire ebwe.
Now this Ebwe was a problem in Uganda. This Ebwe was a problem in Uganda.
Lok me kuch unobero peko maditi lobo Uganda.
Ebwe ore olurebani anyetro Uganda ditiri NRM etare kururi.
And what was causing lack of Ebwe?
Dongin mauno weko kuch pere.
Aruta ori bani ebwe ore olure Uganda yoni.
Was because of bad politics.
Bien tela marach oberutie.
Di aluna lase unziri orikai ebwe akori ezini Uganda.
At before independence and at independence, people introduced politics of tribes and religion.
Mapeya Uganda no lotken ki karma Uganda no lotken dano mogo chako kelo lok me politics no me lok me wibie mano pogo lok me kaka.
Uganda esu dringo di lase oriolure surusi vo adini sisatro.
That politics is force politics.
Lakit lok me wibie enone meno lok me wibie marach.
Lase na lase mbiri vo aunze.
In Uganda there is a word chikwangara, something which is fake. I don't know how they call it in Luo.
Uganda tie leb magawechi kwangwala tie lokene jame mapetia da beru chalo gen magi terra.
Lejo ekuya ni tunai anyetro bari maditi si yoke umtioma pelere kore mbia malai.
Sectarian politics is fake politics because it does not address the needs of the people.
Pimeno lok me wibie mabero apoga mekara meno lok me wibie marach.
Lase ranzuzo suru sinai umti amala lejo bari anyetro Ugandari oyati droreasi niko.
I am a Munyankore, but I want prosperity for my family and for my area.
Entie dano maaki ankole ento emiro ni don lobo obetie pidano duju.
President Museveni ni suru se ankole go ke kole akideta te suru anirin ni adute ko.
And when I see prosperity, the only way I can get prosperity is to produce milk, beef, bananas, which I am doing, and sell them.
Yo ma enromo weko lonyo nyodano beru mabe ene menene en weko chako berutie la bolo berutie kijami ma enromo chero icharo.
Jo adita jo mali esukadri oviro ewoliele na rega badi kata jo boko sakadri lady ongo lady kanyai kama yezingo ni anidri.
The problem I have is that the Banyankore don't buy my milk, they don't buy my beef, they don't buy my bananas because they also have the same. I have the same, they have the same.
Pero matie ene ni kama en ipurie jame chao la bolo rinyotie chaktie jo makune ankole pege welo pian genbe na gitie ki jama chelo.
O vitru anirileya atilei kwekare anirinza voa boko sa aniria vuarinza ongo nyesuan kole drisa pokwa a leya a equina tadikoa itia a.
The people who buy my milk, who buy my beef, who buy my bananas are people of Kampala and other parts of Uganda who don't produce what I am producing.
Dong mawelo chak, gewelo rio, gewelo labolo, ma en ikati kwere, ene jo ma ake Kampala, ke kaberu mukene, manoje machalo meno pe borgi.
Batri anitele di jeka wari kole ako ki Kampala si amala na riba tirisa a kaki jeakpe.
Therefore, when you come to Uganda, to Raikitura, and you found I have built a good house, it is because of yes, my cows, but my cows would not have given me a house if Uganda had not bought them.
Owego ka ini chere pajone Raikitura, ini no ne yubu ormabe, ento ormabe ni engira tike diang mameo chak. Ento labon lo will mage ake Uganda no en pero mogero ate anone.
Ande ini karungwele Raikitura naika kiesu ba Uganda ariko jeta niri na ewako ekwina koba aniko bijo sile wanikpe.
And since I am a serious wealth creator and I have mobilized other wealth creators, we are producing a lot of milk and bananas and beef.
Donc kiet machalo en tie ngat makero chunya da lok menyaye lonyo ke kelo bene goro ka chel lore mukene gen gitika kelo la chak la bolo mapol
disi ajuta tadite kanidrinza ewoli le rigo babuku karusanza leisa drabakos bakat tita kaleipe ongolei di karazi kasitiezi.
And very soon we found that the internal market of Uganda was not enough.
Inge manok ginero ni ginyang ni chukara kane gigen chukma Uganda pero mo wilo jame magikate kwere dujo.
Amesu soko taribati Uganda adutere otsako.
That's how East Africa came in to save us.
Ene ye kiet madong lo matie East Africa uchako bino me wilo jame ni kibotgi.
Lady opa dra vozibati ewo ngule East Africa riga resa eya drabani soko inzare taribati jejo.
If we did not have the market of South Sudan, the market of Congo, the market of Kenya, the market of Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Somalia now, these industries would have collapsed by now.
Kaono chuk unyolo wil maake kaberu chalo Congo, i South Sudan, i Kenya, chero kwerewa i Somalia cha kaono gipe mukono chuk enone jame magechare kono kwenye dongpe.
Esusoko South Sudan irikolu yo Somalia Rwanda wozibati mbingigari torikolu yo tediti factory tadibati dekarisa dradi ni utrara.
Because of the multiple transaction, I don't want to give too many figures because it will take a lot of time, but you can get the figures.
Eno wache pienne gitika gonyo lep ario mapat pemete tit wel maduong tutwal.
Amoluke risidrojo anolani kojo tangu kwa siro mata de equineri ali.
But if you take, for instance, sugar.
Kani konge ket la bole chukari.
Oviru nyidu sukari ne.
Sugar we are now producing 700,000 tons.
Kumbeti dong, Uganda tika kati kichukari maromo tan alibmia biro.
Oviru diadro Uganda kasukari te taungwele tani disindimia tuteri.
The internal market is only 300.
Entro mawile ki Uganda kange wilo tan alibmia dekeken.
Soko tadi sukari Uganda tetemia nadri e.
There is a surplus of 400,000 tons.
Nyutini no we maudong mapege wilo kikany romotan alimia ngwen.
Disitani mia sure soko ne suka opo.
And the production is increasing. When I was coming, I saw Lakang. Lakang seems to be taking off now.
Dong bene ka yopi chukari tika mete karma ena tika bino eneno chari Lakang bene dong tika kati.
Dini rivo visukari tezo rikadra tuandraga oviru kari ungwele Lakang dia digari sadra sukari kari tena.
Where would Uganda sell all these products?
Dong Uganda bechato jeme egoni wengwe.
Uganda kadra hata dia zingwa.
I quoted the examples of Ankole, but all Ugandan parts are involved.
Enemy o la bole ankole eto ke neno but Uganda duju mapat wengiti akata kijeme mapat
abate of vidro ankole ariao kie wo Uganda diri kodro okotro.
When I was coming, I saw a lot of maize towards the Lakang. Those areas have got a lot of maize, and I want to thank the people for that big production.
Ma eno a tika bino kany uneno anyugi maduong magipuro ni ake area charo Lakange ma ene meti po matek luak magitika puro anyugi ni eguni.
Tebe meareri mesu ba kari Lakang na riga rosa serinja alemanzwa yoko serisa kanzanasi.
Maize, we are now producing 5 million tons.
Anyugi ke ken kumbe di Uganda dong tika puro ton million a beach.
Uganda kata seri de tani joleri milioni to unai.
But we are consuming only 1 million within Uganda.
Ento mawano chamo 1 me Uganda ni wachamo ton million achele ken.
Ki Uganda adi anyaleri tete milioni alo.
There is a surplus of 4 million tons.
Manyuti dong mano pe chamme no dong million ton million angkolo.
Asediri tani milioni su.
So where would all this go if we did not have the regional market?
Dong kache chuk chalo ilobe ma watene kwetge unope uno Germany ke charo kwene.
Disi josoko esu ankweri korida soko di kolwin koni.
That is why in the 1960s we had seen this and we had said, you people, our principle number one is patriotism. Love Uganda. We had seen all this in the 1960s when we were still students, and we said our first principle of politics is patriotism. Love Uganda.
Do weko geneno la kit tela mana nen enotere ikine ka mwagali ba cheli mi abungweni piera bichel ikare ma ono gen fulo tieno kwano weko ge wajo ni gin ma piere tek ma omior genen ene konkit me maro lobowa.
Andre tadi enare monte eli falumia ditalum diritalum biaziasidi ojo ngbelejo okpo atiri kole anyile nyavu nintro nyile Uganda nintro.
Why love Uganda?
Pingo miete ne wa ma lobowa.
Nye Uganda nile adutasi.
Because you need it for your own prosperity.
Pien wa mero lobo Uganda wek wanduju wadon.
Amala ile Uganda nira nyini tujo mali nyiri resujoi.
And then we said Pan-Africanism. Love Africa.
Me rio wajo ni umiru wa maro lobo padel chol lobo Africa.
Arizona ajo daro ba inini ungwele Africa ride kolea bakolo alo.
Why love Africa? Because you need it for your own prosperity.
Pingo wan miete ne wa ma lobo Africa. Piene wa mero lobo Africa wek wan machalo del chol wadon wa chirumalo.
Ro Africa di anisa kole abakolo alo asiru bakotu wa mali bari resujoi.
So therefore, when somebody comes to me and says, we as Banyankwere, I say, stand and go away.
Pimeno weko ka ene neno ngatimo e bino wene wan nyankole ene wajo ni chatan chetchen.
What?
Chatan chetchen.
Satan.
Cherry chen.
Cherry.
Chet chen.
But something like that one.
Zomadizi kia kojoa ama banyankole ani kojoa di sitani nyengaile.
So we despised sectarianism because it was fake.
Pimeno weko wano kwero lokman me apoka me kakapian wanoni petiyo.
Disi adio jara nzoka suru sidi irura amalani tatwe kore eunze.
That's how we were able to build a party like this one, NRM, for the whole country.
Ene ye kid ma weko waberu kikero me yopo party madip machalo man party NRM pe Uganda lo.
Disi NRM ni rapa tibane anyetro Uganda nintutu tiri.
That's why we are able to build a national army.
En kid ma bene wa yubo kwere ki mon pe Uganda lo.
Lady ba asikaria muntara Uganda tiri sara.
That's how we are able to build national institutions, civil service, judiciary, police, and so on.
Ene kid ma weko uberu utwere me yopo jangamente mapat. Kidoptij mapat.
Lady oba gameti osi dradruza ngwingbi ewo bakoti buide kakoti ya ridiri polisi parliament so mpara okoni druza ngwingbi gameti riri taledi yan lady say.
It is because of those institutions and the politics which is stable that we are able to create kuch.
Dong tie pi jang dul pagamente mapat ki jang tij mapat matie maopie eno wego kip me kuch tie kwere kumbeti.
Lady Opa gameti osi triaro okporere duzangbingbi voaseto de irane asini.
Now with kuch, then we go to Donglobo, development. With peace, we have been able to get to development.
Donc ka kuchie wego wabero kikero meneno ni Donglobo berutie.
Ebwebwe kwidara divu ebwebwe vuri draba koya vozo etirere ndrereao.
That's how we have got all these tarmac roads going to Ajumani, going to Kitugum, going all over the place. Because of Ebwebwe.
En kid machalo do neno kwere kumbeti lam ai Kampala machero West Nile machero wa Kitgum eno ne wengu te mepi kuch.
Lady Drangin Reality Pelere Ridero Rakati Uganda Wongwin Biriga Koyandia Jumani Kitigumu Karingbin Biriga Reasini.
But then we pointed out that you people, even if there are good roads, tarmac, you don't sleep on the road at night.
Ento mirongene karibeti guri tie mabe mageli yelam won pa bur guri ni eno ni diwo.
Te leti tuidi yani di kolubania asulelam sidisa leti atriko.
You sleep in your home.
Ngara chel buri ode.
Nyodu ko nyiri jo a.
Now when you go back to your home, the poverty you left in the morning will be waiting for you when you come back.
Donc kay dore paduni en chan mai ai wego ganko dikuni kay doro tieno icher noti kakuri.
O viruto vo wirai fo pita ko lunyiria ata ko na kanyite na anyengwe ni aganye suati.
And when you go back, the poverty will say, Apoyo bi, no, we are still here.
Makai o gang chan jole o poyo dugu one put botikany.
Ta kokojo ama inyi iranya ngwira malemo lodri diati.
So we said, you people, I can give you a figure. 19 independence, only 9% of the homesteads were in the money economy.
Pimeno enro bolo la bol ikare mao karo pasen abungwen keken palubu Uganda maono dano magitieke lime chingi.
Uganda esudringo de family a iri kakisiti deri percentage se oma tete mudulimbri talo.
91% we are working for what in law we say, each may each keken.
Percent piarabungwen
working only for the stomach.
Percent piarabungwen achel padano no pole mergite atiu teach pe igi pe gina chama keken.
Mia ni a sedi nzanzale dioriki ebu idere ini nyale aga.
When we came into the government, we started talking about wealth as we normally do.
Ikarma ene donye gamente cha olok ne umierogenen kit menyalonyo.
Ame adu gameti di ame dongbe tajoka mali yesuka nidi.
And in the 1996 manifesto, we advised the 4 acres model for the people with small land.
Wege karme ye me piarabungwen wi abichel magitie ye gibeo katia to bodluak ni umierogi kati meneno model mageloni model pe eka ngwen to twale pe joma tiki ngoma tieno.
Gameti enare mudridi odu voaseka eli falumia ritalum diritalim biazia sidiri ngbe do bani ofu kweka ba voa iriga ridriojo donya vote kasurari ni voe kasudi to ini ngoni ai.
Because at that time there were 2 problems.
Gene kar eone no pekoti ario.
Na inga ditiria ieri.
Problem number 1 was people working only for the stomach.
Pero me achel no pol padano tiu merbe ige keken gen me achama keken.
Ditiria lori baori kata ndrenzanzana lonya ya ani.
But even the few who are working for the stomach and also for the pocket, we are doing so without chura, without otita.
Ento manok moni maono olo gitu pe ige ento chiene mono nge yene no begiti atimo ne mer la banban la bondero mo.
Ki ba ebuideka a ia ani ongo jebani trorisa kaki de atirinzako.
That's how you get to the issue, like, for instance, our people in West Nile who are producing tobacco.
Eno weko ka neno chalo dano ma onoge ake West Nile do tich gi mere puro ta.
Disi ofuidoru kweka bau engaka West Nile yarini amalori kikaki tuba usao.
First of all, if you want to get the chura, the audita correct, you must say what is the average land holding family.
Kai mero niang diro ne mabeyo miero ke penye ni dog ora chiel mono tie ki ngom maromeni.
Disi ebuideka amvuarini oluzo tui amidofu kweka familia lo aludri amvu voa irira saizi ningoti.
If you go to the Goberera area, when I went there, that time the average land holding was 2 acres per homestead.
Kai chiero chalo side yu logwara kuja dogo ara chiel nogeti ngom eka rio keken.
Zoia West Nile yani nyesua familia lo aludrile akwasi vo hota eka sunira.
Now, that means 1 acre is for food for the family, and you have got only 1 acre to work for the pocket.
Ten loke ne nodong eka chiel me pur gena chama eka chiel mudong ene nodong mioro ki pu ki gen makelo chente.
Lady Koba nyesua amvue kalori nyisoa lo nyadru nyale aga dra lori kolu no se azileni.
Now, when I checked tobacco that time, I think they were earning like 800,000 per year.
Kai neno enta enoni nen chalo no gino kena ka chiling ali mia boro keken pe mwaka chiel.
Sana sibatu bausakadi kakiesua 1,100 kinyandide ya ito basi.
Cotton now, I checked with Moses Adi when I was in Ajman recently. They said you earn 1 million for 1 acre per year.
Kai neno chalo pama chochoke kara me penyo la dit Moses Ali ino ni eka chiel ino miliona chiel keken.
Dra anyasudi adro ajumani zeno Moses Ali rifa mwani su akwasi nyesua kinyarudia milioni alowa.
So, if you have got only 1 acre, how will you get out of poverty with 1 million or 800,000?
Dong kai tie ki eka chiel keken. Ichako ning ki lonyo mano no miliona chiel keken ki yeni.
Zigbata kwa nyenga inkoni zo nyesua 1,100 kusa milioni alodia kinyandia.
But we need cotton.
Ento pama benemite.
Ki warole rusakara.
We also need tobacco for those who want to kill themselves with cancer.
Ta benemite jo mamiro mere dene keken ki nongo tuo cancer.
Tuba sole rura malabazi tileka ikodia iria ya ngasi la zaungwele cancer siri.
If they want to smoke, what can we do? We grow it for them.
Kai mero ne ipu mere ta me amar ene puro pigi.
Bas tileka ikoseari ni se.
But in order to grow pamba, you should have maybe 100 acres where you will get one, that will be 100 million. So you can get money from pamba, but you do it on a medium scale.
Manyu nong chene chalo million mia chiel ipama no miere pu eka mia chiel kolo.
Nyeni siti esu jo tajo milioni 100 lo akole avunyirisa kolo akwa saizi nanza eka ire 100 lo yaniri.
If you have got 1,000 acres, you will get a billion from cotton.
Manyuti kai tieke eka aliba chiel ironongo billion chiel ki puro pama.
Jonyiri eka 100 lora nyisi tiesu anisa nzara lakai.
So, pamba can be medicine, but for the one with medium size, with big land.
Pimeno pama romo konyo me chopo pero ento no pore ki jo matie ki ngom madit.
Disi siti esu jonza wa kolea epu vo tiritrongo saizi nzare.
Therefore, in the manifesto of 1996, I had been doing this from the 1960s. I advised the NRM and they put it in the manifesto that please, you people with 4 acres and less, put 1 acre under coffee, 1 acre under fruits, 1 acre under pasture for cows, for milk, 1 acre for food.
Pimeno weko kai ne chake kar me ye me mwaga aliba cheli mi abungwen ke piara bungwen wi abichel. Ene bero ka wacho ni pe un jo ma otiki ngom eka ngwen odok piny uneni eka chel ke kuma ngwen ni upuro kofi nyomwanyi. Eka chel upu nyigien eka chel romo petro cham pale wek chalo pa wek diang ukel chak ke eka chel konyo me petro jama chama.
Erijo mdirita olimbiaze asimi do fudi ke ka jovu nyiriote kasura kole kasudi nye buingoni ya ovirwe kalori kole anyisa aru taungwele kawani diao erijo naiga nyisa oviru aise tini nyale amalatile trodidiri ziiga nyisa kwe dibati oviru mutumba mombe dibati ongo asediri gairida lonyadirisa.
And in the backyard, you put poultry for eggs, piggery, and if you are near the wetlands, you do fish farming.
Medikum enoni inge ot inromo keto jamme chalo petro gweni gwako pego gi eno nyukai choke kama PPT kare ka gwako rech.
Voa nya jogu nyisa nya utambawa kusa nguruwe libati tanakaro mba joguwa ongo karinyirijo eire bitambaka de sakaridewa.
With these, you'll be very rich. You will have food for the stomach, but also have a lot of money.
Kaiti yukidiero enoni biberu be pien olotono jama chamatie kidong chene bene notie ma beri jebani.
Zonyi tele diane rekolu tui lonya kolu nyini nyalenda voa azile siti eti zonya te basa kolu
Now, some people have listened to our message from that time.
Dong ne chake kare enoni tie jo mago winyo dok go mago lok magberu kateto nene.
Bazi tieri ofu amakele dira erijo mdirita olimbiaze asi.
Let's see somebody from Karamoja.
Primero konge nen ngarachel ke Karamoja.
On retri madizi luengari Karamoja ari lete dutro.
In Abim district. My village here is called Arangetai West. Arangetai Parish, Abuk Town Council, Abim district. In Karamoja. The mango trees you are seeing here were given to me by the president through Operation Wealth Creation. I received 200 mango seedlings, and I planted all, and they're all doing well. Apart from this venture, I got money from PDM last year. I got 880,000. And I used 800,000 for buying 10 goats. And the goats are there. They have multiplied. They are now 16. Part of the money of PDM I used for buying cassava stems. Through that money, I've managed to plant 2 acres of cassava. They are now doing well. The first acre I intend to harvest next year in January. Then for the mangoes, you are seeing, I started harvesting last year in 2023. The first harvest, I got 6 million. That was in June. Then second harvest in November, not September, November, I got another 6 million. So last year, from these mangoes, I got 12 million shillings. I've been selling to the people around. Actually, Soroti Fruit Factory has booked this mango. They want me to take these mangoes tomorrow, 2025, to the factory. Actually, I've been selling locally. I've been selling 1 at 500 shillings, 2 1,000, and people are buying. These mangoes are very good. The mangoes trees you are seeing here are giving me money, a lot of money. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Kaguta Museveni, for coming up with the idea of Operation Wealth Creation in the country. This is money. I am not going to suffer. My children will not suffer because of this wealth. I call it wealth now. I don't harvest mango. I harvest money, not mangoes. So I want to thank our president so much. And next year, if all goes well, I expect to get 18 million first harvest. And then second harvest, I also expect to get 18 million next year, 2025. So altogether, I expect to get 36 million shillings. And this money, I will use...
That is the testimony of this man from Karamoja. That is the testimony of this man from Karamoja.
Meno chaden maakibot ngatuberu kaloke en ake Karamoja.
Lady lete madi tadi tadi ewo Karamoja trike siri.
Very far from Tarmac Road.
Tiemer kamabo mabene pechoke lam.
Lolu voaleti sole lam siri gasai.
So Dongle over there is not like here.
The meno kuno don lobone parke kir makanye.
Kari leri diare aniko.
But Lonyo is there.
Ento lonyoti kuno.
Ke malisana a.
So let's see. Let me see Biamkama, the one who has done not only one, because this one has done 1 acre and then goats and so on.
Imero nyoto ngato kene ma otimo mapat pian ngat ma wanene otimo eka chile.
My name is Fred Biamkama. I'm a member of Parliament of Buganges West Constituency, Kakumiro District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple, has 6 cows for 0 grazing. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is a 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, to lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kishozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well. You don't sleep here, but if I will sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 30 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. Then I save in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net.
We don't have time to listen to the whole chura of Yamkama because of time, but you have seen what he has done there.
Chawa tima nok enta tamu neno ngo maladit Biamkama tika timone.
So tabani ko taledi indrezon diro ke indreta egorungwele Biamkama ne aidele naira.
But we have seen that out of the 7 activities we were recommending in 1996, he has done about 6 or something like that.
Pimeno wono tika nene kin jama bero magen gibero katieto pire imwaga alibachele mia bungwen kipiera bungwen wia bichel ikine entika timo gena chele enoni
Tebe yokare yani erijoel falumia ditalo mbiaziasi tatu deri yoledi ya nyantele ani deleri ya luledi.
He has done coffee, bananas, fruits, cows for milk, pigare, which he doesn't sell, he gives free to the constituency, and poultry for eggs.
En kaineno tika promwanyi tika puro nyigiana achama tika guako tika puro labolo tika guako beno pego mau pego ne eoni en miyo mere poka bodlo bol kuine gidong tika timo bene gweno
Te gori de telele di intretele di ara ambu zire ya moka wa bogotro voa upegu tasako mpa onko ti salaka a ngurue di tana tampale na te anyera di.
But if you take only the chura of eggs and poultry, he gets 100, he sells 302 trays per day. He gets 108 million shillings from the eggs in a month. When you deduct costs, he remains with 55 million a month. That is about 700 million a year from eggs alone.
Wego ka ineno chalo lok me gweno ke ken gweno kitong gweno ma entie ka timuneni nieno kinieno noti ka choko tong gweno tray 100 ki aboro makao charo bieno million 100 ki piera bichel ki wiye kao kwanyo achara mapat to duju don ki million makaro piera bichen lokene mwaka ki mwaka noti ka nongo chene mapol.
Uga dute haubele wele anyandele gori de atale di imbaire alosi kesua kote 1,000 nasara kiki nyandide ya kesua milioni nja.
This is, so you can see how much he has benefited from just doing some of the 7 activities.
Pimeno kai neno chi niang magoba ma entika nongone ki timo gina chel keken ki kum jama bero magen gibero kaponyo pierani.
Indera dresu taingoni ya tatetu derima jole di ya te ani deleri ya loki esu taingoti ya indera.
The 700 million profit from eggs does not include what he earns from coffee, from milk, from fruits, and the pigs he just gives free. So you can estimate the total value. It's very, very big.
Pimeno magoba man ma enno ki kum tongweno keken million chochok maromo 100 meno beno pia ye jamano gwako pego kono pia to mwanyigi kono pur la bologi no pekerie meno put lok metong gweno keken chikenen kid magoba menno
ka million esu 100 deri de ya uga dute itadri gurue ti dinabatarela kodrosa.
But he did not, he left out one enterprise which I want you to know.
En peoti mugina chel keken umirunge enoni
ke tazi ovia lore yale mitere anyina nyiniote.
And this I can show you from my farm, experimental farm in Lango.
En meroni nyutu ki farm mamege ma enetie kero ma chawla nyut matie lao
De Mariam Pua Lango kada.
My name is Dr. Maurice Uchen. I am a commissioner by appointment, deployed at State House, and I've been assigned by the President to execute the 4-acre model. And I've put them so far in 10 regional zones in the country. Now, the 4-acre model is an idea conceived by the President to guide our farmers on how to utilize their small acreages of land so that they can earn more money through intensive farming. And here we are talking about enterprises that have good yields and high income for their household. So we have the fish farming, which is one of the enterprises that can be done near the water without interfering in wetland and tampering with water flow. Then we have the zero grazing unit. On the other side, we have the coffee, we have the banana, and also a household needs food crops as 1 acre plus fruits. So This idea of the 4-acre model is to support income for the household. And as I will go into the small mathematics, you will know that it's capable of pulling somebody out of poverty. Now, especially the fish pond, here is about 20 by 50 meter pond, 1,000 meters squared. After finishing the excavation, we stock 10,000 fish. We feed it for about 8 to 9 months. In the north, which is warmer, the fish grow faster. And in the west, which is a little cold, you add 1 more month to reach the same quantity of grams. So by that time, the fish will be about 800 grams to 1.5 kilograms. In the market, the fish which is 1 kilograms or 800 grams here costs about 10,000 shillings. So having stock here 10,000 fish, by 10,000, somebody will get 100 million in 1 year. And then when you subtract other cost of managing, which is roughly 30 million, somebody can be able to save 70 million on this fish pond. And this is, we can put 2 of them in 1 acre. So meaning in this particular acre, somebody should be able to get around 140 million shillings.
Now,
that is for this particular.
That is the testimony of my people in Lila, where I have one of the experimental farms.
Meno chaden matia a kelera kama ene yobo farm matia machalula nyot.
Lady lete Mari Amfuga Lerare e.
They have done some of the 7 activities: the coffee, the bananas, the fruits, the cows for milk, but they have added fish farming.
Gen gutimo jami mapat maroma bero maikine chalo puro en mwanyi la bolo jami chalo en gumero kin jami bero ne gumero gen moken ma pat gumero gwakorech
te tanguimbie la lera na iga viruam vudri na tiko vudrira kwe kwisadzo ingoni na tiko vudrira diara nyandeleri e bita mpakani inzalaka.
And you can hear from the fish farming, in half an acre, they are able to get 100 million shillings. When they deduct costs, they remain with 70 million shillings net.
Ma kai neno chale gwakorech magiti atimone nuju eka keken gino chen maromo million mia chel kage kwanyo achara mapat dong magoba magino chochok million piara bero.
E biri de iga indre zoni saizi ebide atare mbazo di tete nusue kari kike suwa milioni mialo zodaidu e bulebu na ite zori bati pesa kase milioni mutitu teritia rui kotara.
So when you put 2 in an acre, you can get 140 million shillings net from fish farming alone.
Manyutni ka ekero e eka chel e kagwako reja rio tian lokne mwaka chela bino million mia chel ki pier ngwen mano ko magoba madodong.
Disi Yesu jo madile dike bile di atamba otae kandira ere kwina kesua milioni mia lomu disunera.
And we can have these fish ponds in many places, like in the Nile Valley, where the land is a bit flat, like in some areas near the swamps, not in the center of the swamp, but on the periphery of the swamp.
Ket me gwakoreche ne romo timone kaberu mapol chalo e kaberu mogo mano choke dago pe timi di dago kikume ente timi ngere kama no regwake ye mabe.
Ebidi atampaka diani di kari de kari abu rega wa avo ameriti esiriga sa wa herere leko ke akoru esiriga esinye ebile di atanembawa.
There used to be a fish farmer on Atiak Road after KO. There used to be a fish farmer there whom I visited many years ago.
Onotie kapuro rech mone maka elubo yo Atiak no echero yukeo ikar machon enele mukono.
Madizi ori ebita mbare kari wele keyo di gadi atonyi ya Atiak esi nyesu ana a.
So this is how we advised how to get wealth on the small scale.
Pimeno ene yo magemini kwere tam meneno ni ini no oluto lonyo karipe yo madit ento no etika no lonyo.
And what we are going to push in the new government if you support us.
Dong eno bene tie kin jammi ma wano be ker ye chwinywa igamente manyen ka wono miyo chwak.
Ledi leti ramakele ovimali esuzo leti gagasiri ikijongo anyitro oba NRM ni komwidri na ivu gameti andrakadi igasadi vutalwa ledi yani ritereri.
The government will use its equipment to make the fish ponds and then give them to the people and then they can run them.
Gamente mineno ni jammi makonyo chalo me yo en dam nyoka gwakorech. Gamente bene tie wek no gemiyo bod dano konyo ki dano me yopo ka gwakorech.
Gametika tuma ebi tambazo fu ebi tambazo diane di dezori kera.
We have already done experiment in Limoto wetlands. Let's show them Limoto briefly. That's one example. In Limoto, near Palisa.
Man kit magitimo kwere la bolle tie ikabachel matie Palisa.
Anyandrelele di ite Palisa.
But in all this, we must not forget irrigation.
Ento kaitimo eneduju wi upeo mioro wil ilok makwago pi man magekiro nyo pi mageywayo pe konyo tichi egoni.
Ki taitele angude iga kole igwe kuri eyi utebuare auko ki eyi engbalese engbari bati ovi.
NRM is a party of enlightenment, of telling people what should be the best.
NRM party tie party mayabu wangdano biro katieto bodano ngo mabe makonyo maloyo.
NRM ni katanze banya nyetro ani party tanzedi nyitaide chowi pelere ni nkoni anidiri.
Therefore, irrigation is a very crucial part of modernization.
Pimeno pi ma gekero onyo geywayo kakira ijema pura pere tek total pu idiro manyen.
Disi ovie yi engbazo engbadi anileti okporere I asirwadi ndrea baka lechoezi ingoni ya I.
Let's see where we have done irrigation in Bushenyi.
Kongwa neno kama wakeru na kipi ni Bushenyi.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12% of the water flow. So there is still enough water which we can pump. We've already finished the feasibility study to distribute the same irrigation water to the farmers, mainly along the water pipeline. So the structures you are seeing here are mainly to do primary filtration of the water. You have seen all of the water through that aeration. It's our water in the western region is full of iron. So we always reduce the iron content by passing it through the air. Each of these pumps 40 cubic meters per hour, and it has a lift height of 140 meters. That's why we are pumping it 110 meters from here. We are standing is 110 meters below the reservoir where to bring it pump. You see these ready tanks? Those ready tanks are full of sand. To again continue the filtration of the water. We are using a drip system which uses very, very fine water. We should not be having any floating particles to block the system. Many people, when they hear His Excellency talking about 53 tons. People wonder if that's possible or not.
Now,
you'll be able to see.
Now, the important thing there is that in that plantation of the government,
na tandele okoreri ovi yengbazonae gameti atuma usule na ovi gari
because of irrigation and fertilizers.
Totuale pi man magekiro pinen ni chamudon kidong fertilizer magemio pinen ni bene chamudon yot
na yengbakana onko orini tui makara ubale oriko zoasini tui na
we harvest 53 tons
en pedero eno ne wero
from 1 hectare.
Pedero eno ne wero ki eka chiel keken
not eka hectare
ki hectare chiel noti eka rio tone angwen wero no ke kwanyo tan pierabich wi adek
eka tere riga na nyesua edu tanisi ota ndito ulibi nara.
The Nyankole nearby with the gardens, they harvest only 5 tons.
Dano matie choke kaberu ni enoni jome Nyankole magatie choke kaberu eni eka chela ginota na bit keken
hectare not eka
hectare achela ginota na bit keken
ki gameti dri korega ewo Nyankole na riedeler ni rizo inte hectare garini nyesua tete idele na iga kekesua tani tou.
So we are harvesting 10 times more than the Nyankole.
Pemeno pagament ne magetika kwanyo ki poro loyo nyayo chochok tiana pa kai por kiman pa joma ikingang ma kwereni
gameti idele ni naiga ka ba dide irinte vutou.
So therefore this is the 3rd brick NRM is putting in the Uganda House by fighting for wealth.
Pemeno man matafale me adeke ma mapate NRM tika doto ne meneno ne nyayo lonyo ikingang.
Here I'm concentrating on the smaller people. The big ones I don't have time to talk about them.
Kakany entika lok ikom wan me kingang pijo man madon kitie kilim madone en peti aloge kumbeti.
Lady mutufali namba nazo atebe majoleri ionko banzanza ko anitule digai.
Now this brings the issue of restocking. This brings the issue of restocking.
Man don kela pilok man pe yob me restocking.
Because it is part of wealth creation.
Pien eno ne tie bud yob meneno ne lonyo uberiching dano.
Lady kametida ewo ti ukwezoriga amalani leti alwanisa mali ejizori.
Now the wars and the cattle rustling and so on destroyed cattle in some parts of Uganda.
Luen kachel ke yako die mage yako urwenyo die ke chingdano.
Oja Uganda eurudi aisiri oba ti bazi titito resa igwekea ya tininza.
And in our systematic way, we fought to defeat the terrorists and start restocking the country and developing it in other ways as we have seen.
Donc kidero mawati kwere walwenyo mejoko lutima ranyi enoni wego kumbedo watika neno kitme neno ni die yudugu chingdano yume restocking.
Disi leti ati taubazore risi atiri odioja baoja undrukadi iru ongoradi ivuri kolea ingwitiri bati oja nyale di atini.
The war was in many parts of Uganda, but where it the most was mainly in Acholi for a long time and with spillovers into Lango and Teso for the latest.
When gero beru mapat ente I Acholi kando beru pikare mat large ma wie mogo unyete odonyo ilao mokeno odonyo kwere Teso.
Ojadi onyantansarereri ba toliari au Lango tro voa Teso gae sisa karu tro.
But earlier on we had big wars in Arua, West Nile, in Masaka. The whole of Masaka was destroyed. The whole of Mbara was destroyed. We had those earlier wars.
Entre kar machon luen beno berutie kaberuchalo ya Arua Nile area me Masaka Mbarara mao balo jem marajo mapol
ke oja ti olo West Nile yasa ngabamze tirire adzo parara tirire gasa
But actually the war lasted there very long, for more than 20 years. Then there was spillovers in Lango and Teso to some extent. Then there was capital rushing from Karamoja.
Ento actually kan penyuri pimuaki makaro piarario mawio piato don mitao uchere Teso kidong meteke yako die merukatime Karamoja.
Oja tuli adiari leo diru toto kinyanzao ta kinyamdirira paka Lango Teso voanti ave karangmorja satora.
So as we were systematically beginning to restock, then lawyers came in.
Bekar mage chako tiki der menene dio duge ching dano lo pele dao chako bino.
Ari tadialetini o bare tete re.
Then the lawyers came that we must compensate.
Lo pele dao chako no mioro ke chol dia chola dia maurwen.
Ke batikirire ungwele lawyers litio jokole atopasiga kukwebadi.
Who is to compensate and compensate what?
Anga mao mioro chol dao mioro chol ngo.
Kira lazini adikata di ukwene onko adini ukweao.
Because the war started long ago, before many of us were even involved.
Bien luenyi ene uchake chon mabere jomokene chalo gen jomokene be pia gidonyo ye.
Amaloja di orieze esuvoa amazibati de sa lako.
And also many things were destroyed. People died, buildings destroyed, time wasted.
Dok bene jem mapol utim ubale machalo kuo padano ruin wa ori bene gebalo kare padano beno bale.
Satangu ivoloruni ta so nyoru ogwe ongo akwase igwe sasa igwe runzo jadi obai.
But my approach is always a peaceful approach. I say, okay, if they say we compensate, let's start. Here is the money.
Ento kita juitero kwa ke jamene ter yo mamul iwa ne kakumana yela pe genen kit mechulune.
Kidrama irajo drojo deni rikola ukwe badi ale bwebwe ao.
They started taking money.
Gichako chwalu chente.
Dulera.
Up to now they have taken 159 billion.
Ni kumbeti ni chene madongi choro billion mia chel kipiara bidwi ya bongwen.
Etsa John Didiaro draota billion mia lom ditoura.
But when we would check, we would hear people, the impact on the ground, we were not hearing it.
Ento kai ngiyo kore, inoni aduki ne pe winye kingang.
Kizovoa nyundu taria ite nini, nye sua siti badi esule di endre anisako.
So that's why I said, why don't we discuss and see, is it not better to have a flat approach?
Ene gen mo wajone, ene gen mo wewa, ene tamone, pingo peke nen de romo madaweng gemene gewel diang marom.
Disi ajo leti chwiri kole au vibo kwe jodi ingbe buko viru vikwa.
Whether you say you had cows or you didn't have, you start now. We give you some cows and you start with that.
Karebere white no ibero kidiango nyo ibero pe kidiang kongdong gemi kidano weng duk audio weng.
Disi ajo tejo nyigwe tira ya nyigwe kuru ya sakole aido tikwe kaho kwe tinyini.
So I said, let's discuss. I called conferences in Teso, Lango. I even came here. We were here in Unyama here.
Pimeno wego ene luo ka choke ne ginyamtam luo ka choke madon mao beri Teso beri lao kakany kama wati ye kumbeti ni bere ene yubo ka choke ye.
Disi ajo kole ataki zuru ledi oba taoriri zuka Lango ara Teso aravua dia tulia dia sata izurura.
So they went back to discuss, and they came and reported. First Teso, Lango, then actually followed me when I was already campaigning in Arua. They came there.
Dul magi kerenge ka chokene gu chero gu nyamutam kidano gu kate kitamgi jome Teso kilao gu mi report jome achole gu chere karma no NTA I campaign I West Nile I Arua kacha.
Disi izuta di okwe ripoti ra ongo atoli ari ripoti de okwe anini elia ne kai jajo aruesi.
So they all agreed that the equalitarian approach was better.
Pimeno giyeni neno mane gipok idogo la chela gipok wele marome dokbe.
Disita irura leti erijo arude equina asirukolu leti tuiri itadi de joy.
In Acholi, they also said, but yes, the equalitarian approach is better, but Acholi suffered longer, and so on. There had some points there.
Entropy Acholi gimogone pokodien wel marom idog ora chele be gijolo entropy Acholi pian pero melwenyo ri matek gineno dok dir mukene gimedikume.
Oviru oja di ojo onya bangbingbi atoli uzura mala ojo onya ipara kiojo riso combat na.
So I said we shall study all that. So when I got this, I had to postpone my rallies in Lira and Kole, which I did yesterday. People have agreed to the idea of the equalitarian approach. Now you sit and discuss how to do it.
Wego ikarema Acholi lao tesuguka teki report madonge mogo wego ene wego rally maono mirebet kwere ilera ke kole ichere bedo ke cabinet penye wajo ni jone guye guka teki tam negi pok dien idogola chela dog ora chela pimeno miro chwak tame enone giberi ye ke cabinet.
Disileti da a ilera tadi tezori ate mesu ripoti de ilima ija karizi gaki adu mungwe minister maride adu ari amuba tadi atine dra a irola kara.
So when the cabinet sat, they said, instead of cows, why not money?
Doe karma cabinet beru penyo beru tiene mega kamiyo makum dia pingo pege mi machente.
So I was campaigning. They told me. I said, okay, if that's what they want. There's money which was already planned.
Donc enone cabinet beru no eneti rally campaign ento malogo o barwe okay kakumena yela pe chene moni tie ma ono dongi kero yubo.
Ki minister dia izuta ni gao yoki ti ukwe kaosi dia ukwe city au kwa dotasia. Dra president leo jo city le city
So they transferred the money 80 billion on their account.
Pemeno chene ma ono gekero tiene gikwanyo gekero account billion pieraboro.
DC city billion mtiarori o zero account yara.
But then a new problem came up. Said, which list now?
Sidor ine chot pero mo kena do biro donge chago la penye kom negatiyo ki nying mene list mene.
Dra ditiri ya diri ba o kwele di ingobati.
Then there was list machon.
Onotie list machon. Nying machon.
There was the old list.
Nying ma ono dong tiego machon ne.
List is bazi ruati atire ya
So, but the old list has some problems.
Endo nying man ma ono tie list machon no pegoti ye.
Bo alaka na ru baleo kuna ikasa ditiri ya
So, I have now decided that we are busy. We are remaining with a few days. Let's finish this work we are on. Let the money stay on the account. And then we have time to discuss properly how to move, all of us.
Pimeno ene tika tiyo jokoneo ni eno manok maudong metia ko yeni kongi chop ka wekwa bet ki kare ma oromo meneno yo matie mabe ma opore pichopo plane anone.
Disi ajuta ikori ijan ragadi ikpa asiru voaru kabani sake ditirite sule weli ba osile ditide ane desa kari totrowa.
As I expected, when I was in Arua today, people were all said, but we had war here. How about us?
Ikarma entino no eti Arua kete bero kabeko nekwere jo Arua kade gen beno gibero kelwen kuno.
En rumengare aruari baruari so zia ile kita isa oja onya itodi.
And then I was campaigning through Parisa, Bugisu, Senior Karamoja, they said, oh, but you remember, you man, you have forgotten that we are being raided all the time. How about us?
Doi karma ene bero kachere campaign chale area me palisa dokwere malukuda. Jo makun be wani indong wile komodo one penge yoni kar ke kar no kitika yakodie wakany.
So I said, we are going to address all of you. We are going to see how to handle all of you. What we want are more cows in Uganda.
Chi ene wajuni enuni gibineno yo mechopone pian gin ma ene miro ene ni dieyo miro nyama pole no Uganda.
Te karizi bati garisa virupali sa ingoni na tisa kelozo dera kidrania Irani ujo taana lele ritikolo Uganda anzai disi lejola karekaronrera.
Uganda has now 16 million cows.
Kumbeti dong Uganda tie lobo Uganda tie ke die million para bichel.
Driati Uganda rota milioni mutilimpia ziara.
And they are producing all the time.
Bena kitika nyual ginya chawadujo.
Vua sa tirusi tidi koti.
Or if people get money, they may do other things. They may not even go for cows.
Dano no chene dongi chia gengak mer katimugi no kene pe dongi ne lo kadiang bene.
Zovo kwa siti yao bazi tidi zereko kaita ziovide asinia onewa.
So that is all part of wealth creation.
Meno yo meneno ni lonyo unyai chingdano.
Lady po leti ovi mali esuzore.
The last two tafari I want to speak about is jobs.
Dong mata fale ario maudong magichano ene mero loriye pilok metich.
Dre uwe ritatia serea kama letua majota tia rure zire alori e uwe burire e.
How you get countries losing their way forward when you hear they are stuck, fighting, what? It's because they don't know what to do. They don't know where the answer is.
Kai neno lobo mogono mergo gerre luenya ye pegengeo kamo miorgo chierie. Eno time pieno dano pengeo yuango mao miorgo kwany.
Zitisi ngesua bakarongba karizi batiga disi dia leti tade atide ande karo droengone ani rakola atakondrero laka.
Where do the majority of jobs come from?
Teach mapol mao mior nyae ching dano aki kwene.
Disi karie bude nzanzari kenga ingwesi.
Some people say the government.
Jo kena wa ini tiju miro aibot gamente.
Bazi tiojo e bude gametia.
That's a wrong answer.
Eno kakara.
Di impire.
Because the government jobs altogether are 480,000.
Pien teach magamente mio teach pagamente wen kage bamo kachiel weleti alimia ngwen keken.
Ebu gameti riri yotrusi job akaria logani tete 1,100 sumu diaro.
We are now 50 million.
Entro anywele me
paka milioni mtito.
How can 480,000 jobs satisfy us?
Don't teach alimia ngwen keken. Romo wane ning million piara bitkulo.
Disi ebu tete 100 sumu diaro de kaba milioni mtito ude ni kota ingoni.
Let me show you where the jobs are.
Don't wekwa nyoto kama tit aki ye.
Mitere angini ebude inkwaya e.
Let's see Basangwa of Kamuli.
Mzee Basangwa Johnson, Managing Director wa Jaka Poultry Farm. Jaka Poultry Farm eyaganibwa Bukwenge Kamuli